Take a big sip of tea. And the channel is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Woohoo!
I'm Christiana Ellis, the Dungeon Master, and our players tonight, Paul Fisher as...
Vicador.
And who is Vicador?
Vicador is an Aarakocra thief rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, not a person you want to cross.
Uh-huh.
And he has been crossed in the worst way.
Oh, dear. Well, we'll learn more about that in a moment, but we also have Jenny Meltzer as...
Rivka the Red. I am, I don't even remember what I am. Oh, yeah, I'm a Goliath barbarian. And there was this, it's a thing. I'll talk about it later.
And last but not least, we have Starla Hutchton as...
Poppy, the Owlin Ranger. And these people just showed up in my woods and we got to take care of some stuff.
Right. So we are down one of our regular players tonight, and so we are playing a side adventure where once upon a time in the land of Sekamian, during Campaign 1 to be specific, the heroes of legend found a powerful artifact known as an iron flask, which is capable of capturing all sorts of sometimes extremely powerful magical creatures inside if they fail the wrong saving throw. But when they found it, it was occupied. It was occupied by a hag, which they decided in that moment to set free and allow to run off into the wilderness. And you know what? Who's to say whether that was a good or bad decision at the time? But here's the thing. In the years since, this hag took up residence in the Beleth Woods and established herself, appearing to those in the vicinity as a kindly old friendly witch who is eager to help anyone who comes to see her with their problems. And it just kind of turns out that almost everyone who makes any kind of a deal with her, even if it sounds great at the time, usually does not turn out well. In fact, inevitably and invariably turns out terribly. Also, sometimes she eats people. So, bad news. But, fortunately, for everyone else, we've got 3 heroes tonight who are maybe going to try to do something about it. So, tell me, how did the 3 of you find yourselves together on this shared quest?
I went in search of the hag that killed my dog. And I traveled deep into unfamiliar woods and met this little person who had also been seeking vengeance against the hag, and this very big person. And we sat around thinking about what we could do about it and drinking. And we came to the conclusion that the 3 of us just represented small, medium, and large, and we could put all sorts of hate and hurt on this hag.
Mm-hmm.
And we went hither
The hag has to pay.
Mm-hmm.
to hunt the hag.
She ate my people.
She ate your people. Wow. Your
My
people are
mom,
big too, so like that's
yeah,
greedy. I mean,
she is really a monster. We got to take care of her.
I mean, people just keep coming to these woods and it doesn't matter if I tell them, hey, it's a bad idea, but they come in anyway. And
yeah.
some of them come out, some of them don't. And I'm kind of tired of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So here's what proved to be the first challenge of your mission here is that although frequently this hag, who has come to be known in the populace, in the environs as Striga Nonna, has a little quirk where her house does not always seem to be in the same place. It's not really clear why that is. It seems like usually anyone who is actually looking for her manages to find it when they're looking for her to make a deal. A little bit harder when they have other intentions. However, you just happen to have a ranger who knows these woods like the back of her wing. And so you managed to track down this house. And oddly enough, the actual trail that you found leading you to this house was a trail of enormous cat prints. And when I say enormous, I mean 4 feet across.
Oh yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yeah. And so this very mysterious trail led you to a little clearing in the middle of the woods. We're sitting on top of a hill, right where this trail of cat prints ends, is a charming little cottage with a porch out front. And here's the thing, you're pretty sure this is the place. And so this here, let me get to where I have actual proper descriptions for you. So as you approach this little hut, you see there's the front porch that you're all able to see, most immediately. And, there's just front steps leading up to it. The porch has a 10-foot high ceiling around it as it surrounds the hut itself. There is a wide porch that wraps around the front and sides. There's a table with 6 chairs sitting on one corner of the porch, and 3 wooden rocking chairs sit along the other hut wall. 4 square windows dot the hut walls, and a wooden door with charming scrollwork stands directly across from the front steps. And a sign on the front door, carved with flowery script and images of kittens, reads, "Be kind to the cats, or they'll fetch mommy." What would you like to do?
I would like to not be here, but we're here, so
I would like to look for cats.
All right. You're looking outside?
Yeah.
Yeah. Make a perception check.
8.
8. You don't see any cats. I mean, there was those big cat prints, and you feel like if there was a cat that big, you would probably see it. It would be hard for a cat that big to hide. But you don't see any other regular sized cats either.
I'll call the cats.
Yeah?
Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
Make an animal handling check.
19.
19. So, tell me how you, what is your approach? Is this something where you are familiar with cats, or is this just generally speaking, what's your vibe? How is it that you're trying to draw cats to you?
Well, I mean, as a soldier, you look for companionship in the strangest places, and a lot of times we would have, stray cats come around, and we would protect them from the fighting. And I don't know, I just always had an affinity for cats.
Yeah. Well, in this case, you don't see any cats outside, but just for a moment, Through one of these front windows, you see a cat walk across the sill in front of it, briefly locking eyes with you. This is what looks like a long-haired tabby with piercing green eyes who just walks past the window briefly, but locks eyes with you just for a moment before disappearing again. But this is, as I mentioned, inside, and you just see through the window.
I have to give it food, obviously.
Should we knock?
Well, that's a good question.
Where are you guys on this map?
Are you?
I am literally right next to you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see you now.
Yeah. Do you see yourself?
I see myself.
Okay, good.
Okay, I'm gonna go knock on the door.
All right. Knock, knock, knock.
Hello?
And there does not appear to be any answer.
Okay.
This is how you do it. And I'm just gonna like push the door open.
Okay. Well, the door does appear to be locked.
I don't know if I have any thieves' tools, but y'all
Well, we have
probably
a
got some.
thief, don't we?
I have some skill in that manner.
Mhm.
I'm going to attempt to pick the lock.
Okay. So make for me. I'm assuming you have either proficiency or expertise with thieves' tools.
I should.
I mean, I would guess, but you have to decide that when you set up your character. It's not automatic.
Oh, okay. I haven't run a thief in forever. So I need to like. So
It's usually in the tool proficiencies, which is in the lower left on your sheet.
okay, yeah, I have proficiency in thieves' tools.
Okay, well, there you go. So
right.
go ahead and roll for me a dexterity plus proficiency check.
Okay. Dexterity. What's the plus for the proficiency?
It's your proficiency bonus, which I believe at level 5 is 3. But this is like,
Okay.
yeah, definitely figure this out because it's going to come up again.
Okay. Modifier plus 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so
Total
your
score
dex
17
and
plus.
so basically, if you have any dexterity skill that you are proficient in, it's going to be the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well that's a natural 1, unfortunately. I think that immediately, as you are fiddling in this lock with your lockpick, the lock does not seem like it should be very complicated, and yet, as soon as you attempt to apply any tension, one of your lockpicks just snaps off in your hand. There's
Oh,
a
boy.
strange sort of little vibration through it that's a little suspicious, but boy, that sure didn't work, and now your lockpick's busted.
All right. Let me try. I'm gonna like walk up and just try to like pound the door open
Okay, just with your hand or with a weapon?
with my hands.
Okay, well, make an unarmed attack. Well, actually, let's see. If you're not trying to break it so much as just force it open, you can make a strength check instead.
Okay.
Yeah. So the 12 actually, I think when you first sort of just go to like punch it, perhaps you have not chosen the right place on the door to punch it because it ends up sort of knocking really loud. But if you want to just kind of try to shove it open with pure brawn, there you go. So with a 21 on your strength, although that looks like it was a save and not just a check, but that's okay because it would have been an 18 instead, and that's still enough.
Yeah, it's the same modifier.
Well, right, but I just mean if you are proficient in strength saves, which I think you probably are, it's different than a just strength check, right?
Yeah.
But in any case, that's enough. So as you shove at the door with your enormous Goliath strength, you are able to force the latch, and the door kind of splinters a little bit and opens. And so now you are able to see inside. And so, glancing inside, similar to what you might have seen if you'd looked through the window, there's a cozy, warm room. Smells of hearty stew, fresh-baked bread, and wood smoke. Above a crackling fireplace, a pot of stew bubbles and a long ladle rests in it. The room is furnished with a table, some chairs, a tidy bed with a straw mattress, and a shelf holding a cookbook and a few jars. You do not see anybody.
Before I go in,
Mm-hmm.
I want to do a quick scan of the woods behind us,
Okay.
just to make sure that, or to see if anyone is back there.
Sure. Make a perception check.
11.
11.
Did not go well.
You don't see anybody. But the woods are pretty thick outside of this clearing. It wouldn't necessarily take very much for someone to be hiding in the trees or something.
All right.
Where's that cat?
Well, you don't see it immediately. You might look around for it. You could make a perception check if you want to look for it.
I will do that.
Okay.
6.
All right. The cat's disappeared.
Oh,
It's a must be a magic cat. It was able to just vanish. Because you don't see it anywhere in this room, but you saw it through the window, you're sure, but now you can't find it.
Are the jars labeled? You said
Uh,
they were jars, right?
I believe that I did. Yes, the room is furnished with a table, some chairs, tidy bed with a straw mattress, and a shelf holding a cookbook and a few jars.
I'm gonna look at the cookbook.
Okay. Let's. Okay. Hang on. Let me. Yeah, you find that there are what look like, preserves in there, and the cookbook is filled with common local recipes. It's called Cozy Meals. The jars also, there's a couple of them that look like maybe spices, but then some are also like, preserves. They don't look terribly unusual or sinister.
I'm gonna look around and see if I can find the cat.
Okay.
Might look under the bed.
Sure. As you look under the bed, you don't even need to make a check because that is actually where it is. So you notice that the cat is hiding under the bed. It is the same long-haired tabby with piercing green eyes. It is kind of crouched in the shadows under the bed, looking at you with its piercing green eyes.
Okay. I'm going to pull out some dried meat or something from my rations pack, and I'm gonna crumble it up and put some down near the cat, and then back away.
Okay. It watches you back away, and then after a moment, it creeps forward and it begins to eat the food you gave it.
All right.
And as it's continuing to do that, it eventually finishes and then retreats back to its spot where it is watching you from its secret base.
Have you
Okay.
tried the ps, ps, ps trick? Sometimes that works.
Okay. I will crouch down and make the ps, ps, ps noise
Okay.
and scratch gently at the floorboards just to indicate to the cat, "Hey,
Hmm.
I could pet you if you'd like to come over here."
All right. Make an animal handling check.
All right. 12.
Okay. It looks at you like you're an alien. Like, what are you doing? Like it's just staring at you like it can't possibly comprehend what you might mean by this gesture or noise you're making. What a strange thing you are.
Okay. Mm. All right. Well, I have been nice to the cat.
Yeah. It did eat the food you offered it.
Yep. Uh, any idea where to go to find this hag, friends?
Maybe ask the cat.
Is there another door?
You do not see any other doors. There's the fireplace. There's the windows that you saw from outside. But you can investigate the room more thoroughly if you would like.
I would like to investigate specifically the fireplace.
Okay. Go ahead and make
Mm.
an investigation check. And if someone's helping you, you may make it with advantage.
Ooh. Somebody may need to help me with that.
Investigation?
Mm-hmm.
I got +6 on that.
I have a plus
All right.
one, so
Well, that first roll is only a 9. Was someone helping or no?
I'm helping. Yes.
Okay.
you should probably do it instead. But
Yeah, so you can just make your own roll if you have a better modifier. Okay, there you
Okay.
go.
it was
Well,
18.
all right, so 18. So especially as you're kind of poking around near the fireplace, feeling along the walls, you very quickly with your hand feel the edge of a door frame that you don't see, and as soon as you do, your mind kind of suddenly realigns, recognizing the illusion, and you see that there are in fact two doors that had been hidden by illusions, and so you now see them somewhat translucently through the illusion spell, but you are now aware that those two doors are there, one on either side of the fireplace.
Well, then I would like to make my companions aware of these doors.
Yes.
We have two choices.
Hmm. Once pointed out to you, you are also able to penetrate the illusion magic and see the doors.
What the?
That's cool.
That's awful.
Left or right?
Your choice. Take a pick.
How about right? We're already here. I'm gonna go up to the door and give it a try,
Okay, hold on just a second.
trying to be as quiet as possible.
Yeah.
Shall I roll for stealth?
Well, if you like. That's the sort of thing you might do if you want to be stealthy.
Um,
And the second natural one of the game.
All right.
Hold up.
Aren't even half an hour in.
just occurred to me. Oh, I only have. I'm not used to being this low level again. This
So I
sucks.
think what happens though, as you go to open this door and with that natural one on stealth, um, is pretty simply you go to open it with kind of pushing it open, and it turns out that it's a pull. And so you basically your first attempt ends up with just a thump against the door as you're trying to push it open, and it doesn't open that way. And so you have effectively just sort of knocked against it prior to actually opening it. Seems like not optimal. And you haven't actually successfully opened it yet, but you know, you could do that. It doesn't seem like it's locked.
There goes the element of surprise.
I mean,
All right.
if I open this one here,
Hmm.
maybe
Well.
they'll be tricked thinking we went that way.
Oh,
All right.
y'all tell me what you're doing.
All right, I'll put this door on the left.
Okay.
Stealthily.
All right. The door opens, and you in fact notice that as soon as the door starts to open, the illusion on both doors just dissipates entirely. So you're not even seeing it, you know, translucently. It's just it ends. But as you open the door, bloop, the room on the other side is which room? Hang on. Okay. H6. Hold on. I'm going between different windows here because it's a non-linear, you know, you can go different ways. So, all right. So you peek through and you see what looks like, you know, the first, you know, area of a sitting room. There is a big, or excuse me, it is, yeah, there's a smell of wood smoke and animal musk filling this room. And you see books on cluttered piles spilling out onto the floor. And there are 3 fireplaces burning low. In front of the largest, an enormous overstuffed chair holds a black cat looking at the fire and mewling, doing kind of a noise. And that's what you can see from, you know, the angle that you're at right now.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, here's another cat. You want to go say hi?
I do. I want to go feed this cat and be nice to it.
Okay.
I can't see anything in here.
You don't see anything?
Oh, no. I mean, it's just hard to see.
Okay. Well, it's because it is dim light. The fireplaces are giving off dim light.
All right.
Is that line up with what you are seeing?
Yes.
Okay.
That
Just
is what
clarifying.
I'm
I want to
seeing.
make sure it wasn't like a technical issue. Okay. Um,
No, it's a bad eyes issue.
yes. Sorry, I'm double checking that I'm interpreting some parts of this. All right, so you move up to the chair where this this cat is sitting, and the cat seems to be really sort of fixated, complaining, looking at the fireplace. And as you approach, it kind of looks up at you and says, "Meow," and then looks back at the fireplace.
Is there wood next to the fire?
The fireplace is burning. It's burning kind of low, but like there is a fire in it currently.
Right. Can I add more wood to it? to make it-
You don't see any firewood nearby, but you can make a perception check, looking at the fire if you like.
Okay. We'll make a perception check.
All right.
A 9.
All right. Well, you're not doing great so far. You're not sure what this cat's problem is.
No, but I will feed the cat while I'm here
Okay.
and give it some food.
It looks at the food that you placed next to it like you have just gravely offended it, and then proceeds to continue mewling at the fire.
I want to check out some of these books. Not
Okay.
like, and I don't really feel like touching any of them, but just kind
Sure.
of see what I can see. Just
Okay, so one other thing that I'll mention just before that is that as some of you have moved a bit deeper into the room, in that southwest corner of the room, there is also a strange sort of debris piled in one corner of the room, forming like a wide flat pile of just like detritus and garbage and stuff. But then as you are looking at the books, Poppy, you discover several journals, each apparently by a different person. And you would have to read them more thoroughly to gain any sort of detail, but they basically look like a variety of different personal diaries, but not, like none of them by the same person. However, as we have Vicor. What was the
Vicador.
Vicador is fussing with the cat, and Poppy is looking at the books. What are you doing? I'm sorry, I don't have your names written down properly.
Rivka.
Rivka, what are you doing while they are fussing with those things?
I want to walk towards the weird bird nest looking thing.
Sure. So go ahead and move closer to that. And I think as you are looking down at it, all of you hear a noise, and it's a strange noise because it's almost like three noises at once. There's a little bit of a and then a and a and as you all look up at the source of this noise, you see lurking in the rafters of this room where it was dark up in the shadows up there is a chimera.
Oh no.
And as you have begun to interfere with its lair, it is going to attack, and we're going to roll for initiative.
Initiative.
Yes.
So I sent it to Roll20 initially, but the weapon that I have, just because this might come into play, it's the hand crossbow of warning.
Okay.
So I have advantage on initiative rolls. And in addition, you and any of your companions within 30 feet of you can't be surprised except when incapacitated by something other than non-magical sleep.
Okay, well, so that's good. So what actually happens then just before you hear that sound is tell me how your weapon of warning indicates the warning.
I thought it lit up, but that might be
Well, no,
something else that I was looking at.
I'm asking you to flavor it. Tell me what yours does.
I just kind of want it to make an owl sound, like a ooh, like a real like spooky like.
My first thought was that it makes a buzzing like a cell phone on vibration. But yeah, so the who sound is also good. But so I think perhaps only you would maybe know what that indicates, but you are immediately on the alert that there must be danger in the vicinity, and likewise the other two of you hear that sound followed by the growl, hiss, bleat of the chimera, just in time for it to not surprise you as we begin this combat. However, I do still need to get everybody's initiative on the little tracker here. And the way you would do that is you have your token highlighted when you roll it, or if you didn't do that already, you can just, well, all right, I'll just not complicate it. Just type in what your initiative number was. Okay. Still looking for Rivka's initiative? Oh, there we go. All right. So, fortunately for you, although you were not surprised, so it's not a surprise round, it still does have speed at its advantage, and it gets to go first. And I think it is first going to leap down at Rivka, who was inspecting its nest. And so let's see, it's going to leap down at you and make 3 bite attacks. One with its dragon head, one with its lion head, and one with its goat head. So going to leap down right there, just like that. And let's have it go ahead and make its, let's see. Okay. I think, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just looking. So first, the dragon head goes to bite you. Wow, and it gets a critical hit. First attack roll of the session, and that's going to be 20 piercing damage. That's the dragon head. And then the goat head also goes to bite you, but only gets a 13. Does a 13 hit you? All right. So even though
Nope.
the dragon head kind of catches you off guard, the goat head is not so lucky. And then the lion head goes to bite you as well. And it gets only a 9 to hit. So I think you are able to fend off the other two heads, thankfully, even though that first dragon bite did some damage. And then as it finishes its attack, it roars. And every enemy who can hear the chimera and is within 60 feet must make a wisdom saving throw to avoid being
Ooh.
frightened.
Rip.
I got an 8.
Okay.
5.
5. All right. How about you, Poppy?
You said wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
19.
So 19 is certainly a success, but Rivka and Vicador are both frightened of the chimera. And now that is the chimera's turn. So, Poppy, you are up next.
This is going so well.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
Just getting started.
Yeah. Let's see. I am super not familiar with ranger abilities, so sorry, I just had a weird noise in my ear.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna, I'm just going to use my crossbow, I think.
All right. Probably need to move to have line of sight on
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we'll go here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then 11.
Okay. 11 is not going to hit. And furthermore, it uses Ram's Defiance that when a creature within 30 feet of the chimera misses them with an attack, they can move up to half their speed in a straight line towards that creature, which it's going to do. As it's doing that, Rivka can make an opportunity attack. A 14, unfortunately, does not hit. You managed your blow. What is your weapon? It's a great axe. I think it unfortunately just ends up near the tail, and the tail is limber enough to just sort of move out of the way. But as this thing charges Poppy, the goat head is looking to just ram you and butt you. So you need to make a strength saving throw.
Oddly enough, I have proficiency on those.
Ranger.
Oof.
So unfortunately, with a 9, though, it knocks you prone.
Okay.
So you did use your initial attack there, but if you have anything else for your turn, you can still do it.
I don't think so.
I think you still have more than half your movement left, so you could go ahead and stand back up.
Yeah, definitely gonna do that.
All right.
So yeah, that'll be it.
Okay. Now that is Vicador.
All right. I am frightened, which I believe means I can only move away from it.
No. That's like turn undead. What it is you can't make yourself move closer, and your attacks are at disadvantage so long as you can see it, up until your you know, you manage to beat the save.
Okay. So, I am going to move into the shadows, but I will not be able to get a sneak attack because I have disadvantage.
Yeah.
And I am going to fire my bow.
All right.
And
Okay. Well,
I got a
even with
16.
disadvantage, yeah, 16, even with disadvantage, and that is good enough to hit. So, go ahead and roll damage. But you're right, no sneak attack.
All right. 10 points of damage.
Nice. Yeah. So it roars with rage as you pierce its goat-like haunch with that was it a crossbow bolt? Short bow with an arrow,
Short bow.
just arrow. All right. So now you can also repeat the wisdom saving throw.
All righty.
Make a little. The purple dot will be frightened.
15.
Okay, a 15 is a success, so you are no longer frightened.
Ha! You don't frighten me.
Okay, Rivka, you are up, but you are still frightened, and so you cannot make yourself move closer.
Yeah. And I have to be closer to attack it.
Well, I
Um,
mean, if to make
I
a
don't have
melee
any
attack,
like
yeah.
I don't have any ranged weapons,
Hmm.
so I would have to be closer. Um, unless are those bookcases like right here?
No, that's a small fireplace.
Okay. Um, this weird nest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be possible to like pick up a big clump of it and throw it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it would be like an improvised weapon, so you'd make a ranged weapon attack with disadvantage because of your being frightened, and then it would use a D4 as the die.
Okay. Can I rage first?
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to do that.
Does your rage do anything related to fear? Okay.
No, I just get +2 to my melee damage
Yeah.
with strength weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
So
it.
yeah, throwing this won't qualify, but you can certainly still give it a shot though. So go ahead and make your attack.
All right. And I don't have improvised weapons like on my attack
I
action,
know.
so
So
just
yeah,
roll a
it's
d20.
well, it's going to be your Dex plus proficiency
Okay.
for the attack roll, and then D4 plus Dex for damage.
So that is
14.
18
Oh, nice.
total.
That will hit.
And then you said for
Oh wait, no.
damage,
So that you should need to be rolling with disadvantage though. So.
Oh right, you're
Yeah.
right. Yep.
Mhm. I mean, it's fair for
That
you
one's
to be
higher.
fortunate. So that means that you will hit. Good for you. So roll a D4 plus your Dex modifier.
Go, Rivka.
2.
All right. So 2 damage. You pick up I think you pick up what looks like a nice solid chunk of this nest, and you throw it. And as it hits the thing, it kind of just goes and falls apart like just a dirt clod or something like that. But the chimera doesn't look like it appreciates you messing with its nest. You can, at the end of your turn, repeat your saving throw, though.
Okay, what was that?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay. 8.
All right. Unfortunately, you are still frightened of this thing. It roars real loud at you, and it bit you really hard that time. Okay, that makes it the Chimera's turn once again. And actually, I think that Poppy, as it is so close to you right now, you notice that around the lion's neck, which is the central head, you see what looks like a collar that has a name tag on it that says Tearmonger. That's the thing that you notice as it prepares to bite you. So first, it's going to attack with its lion head, and it gets a 20 to hit. So that's going to be 8 piercing damage, and I need a strength saving throw.
Well,
12. Okay. So as it grabs you with the lion head, it also just like gives you a big toss, and it just literally throws you back across the room into the wall there behind the overstuffed chair. And then it is, I think, going to it's going to charge after you and make 2 more bite attacks, one against Poppy and one against Vicador. So the dragon bite attack is going against Poppy. It gets a 26 to hit for another 7 piercing damage. And then the goat head is biting Vicador with a 21 to hit for 9 piercing damage.
Ow. It's not very nice.
And then it roars again, but you all have already heard it, so it's not, doesn't, it like it's one thing. It's especially scary when it does it for the first time, but you know this trick now, so there's no new saving throw or anything. But it does roar again. It likes to roar. You get a sense that it is often encouraged in this behavior, perhaps by whoever owns it and takes care of it and gave it a collar and named it, because it seems very satisfied with itself when it roars. But so now it is once again your turn, Poppy.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. So it has wings. It flies.
Yeah.
Um,
It's pretty fast.
yeah. Let's see. Man. Okay, so I have the crossbow. Doesn't seem like it'd be a lot of use at close range, right?
No, in fact, it would be attack with disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. And it takes a whole action to switch out weapons, right?
No.
No?
You can draw one weapon as a free action. You cannot stow a weapon with a free action, but what you can do is drop the crossbow on the floor and draw some other weapon. And that's free.
All right.
It doesn't cost anything. But
'Cause I
the
have some
crossbow will be on the
daggers.
floor and not ready anymore. Unless you pick it up again.
So the crossbow is a hand crossbow,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it only requires one, or at least just to hold it, right? Do you
Yeah.
have to have some? So, like, if I have a
so
dagger,
if
can
you're
I just
drawing
grab
a dagger
the
in
dagger?
the other hand, but see, like it's
Yeah.
a question of like what's your main hand and what's your offhand.
Right.
So here's the thing: it's not enough of a problem to worry about. You can pull the dagger and attack. It's fine.
Okay, then we'll do that.
Yeah.
All right. It was like this close to a 20.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, a 13 is once again
Yeesh.
not enough. As you slash at it, the dragon head sort of wheels around on its long, scaly neck and sort of deflects your blow enough that you miss.
It's like leaving will also take an opportunity attack. I don't like being right here though, so I am gonna risk it and I'm gonna go over here.
Okay. It is going to try to bite you in its opportunity attack. It gets a 17 to hit.
Yep.
Okay, that's another 8 piercing damage. thing's messing you guys up. You're not rolling well, and it's rolling well, really well. All right.
Mm.
So that is Poppy's turn. Vicador, it is now your turn.
Alrighty. I am going to.
So here's the thing: I'm going to briefly say to not that you have to stay next to it, Poppy, but by moving away from it, you made it so that Vicador does not get sneak attack.
Oh well, I've done it, so
All right,
I'm not
fair
taking
enough.
it back.
All right.
Okay. I am going to attack it with my rapier.
All right.
I'll drop my bow.
Okay.
A
Wow.
2.
And
Hey, I doubled my.
yeah, so that's an 8 total. So unfortunately, you guys are just having a rough go of this fight.
It was nice knowing you. It's gonna be a
Uh-huh.
short
Uh-huh.
game.
Okay. Well, don't
And,
worry. I've got plans, but
um,
certainly it's not going great at the moment.
and you said that there were rafters
Yeah.
in this room that
Mhm.
it dropped down from.
Yeah.
I am going to use my boots of striding and springing
Okay.
to jump 3 times my normal jump height
Mm-hmm.
and flex my wings and jump on, trying to go straight up to get away from it.
Okay. And ordinarily that would make it give it the opportunity to do an opportunity attack, but it used its reaction for that already. So you are able to jump up into the rafters out of its melee range um, without difficulty.
All right.
Let's we'll use this little symbol to indicate you're up in the upper level. All right. That was Vicador. So, well, Rivka.
Yeah, I forgot I had other equipment that I like when I switched my thing over to the campaign, it didn't add it. So
Oh well.
I have a dagger
Okay. You want to
that
throw
I
that
am
dagger?
going to attempt to throw.
Okay. Unfortunately, still with disadvantage. Okay, well, a 27 is good, and then a 15.
That was a
okay.
natural 20.
Yeah, so the 15 is what stands because of the disadvantage, but a 15 does hit. So go ahead and roll damage for that dagger. All right.
7.
Not bad. Okay, so that's 7. And it snarls at you. The dragon head in particular looks mad. And if you have anything else, you should do it. Otherwise, you can finish your turn with another wisdom saving throw.
Natural 20.
There you go. You're not frightened of this thing anymore. It just startled you. That's all. It's very different. It kind of like it sucker bit you, and then it was roaring really loud. But now you realize that's stupid.
That just makes me mad so that I can rage again later.
Yeah. Big jerk. All right. So that was the end of your turn, but you are no longer frightened. Now it is the Chimera's turn again. It is going to first. The dragon head seems to sort of like jerk a couple of times, almost like it's about to cough up a hairball or something. But then it spits towards Rivka, and it spits like a fire vomit at you. And so I need you to, Rivka, to make a dexterity saving throw. Okay, so an 18 is a success. So you are going to, I think, take half damage, which is good because this is a fair amount of damage. Which it just describes for me instead of rolling it. So let me roll that. Okay, so it would have been 23 total, but it will now only be 11 fire damage. But then the rest of it also unfolds its wings and follows you up into the rafters, Vicador. And it's going to try to bite you with the remaining lion head and goat head.
That's
So
not very nice.
21 to hit for
That'll hit.
8 piercing, and then a 20 to hit for 11 piercing. It is rolling really well. I apologize, you guys, but there's only so much I can do. It's automated
I
dice
am
roller.
almost dead.
Mm-hmm. All right, and so that is its turn. Both Vicador and the Chimera are up in the rafters where it's relatively dark and kind of hard to see up there if you don't have dark vision. Poppy, your turn.
Well, I do have dark vision,
Mhm.
so I am going to take aim. Hold on. Familiarizing myself with this
Sure.
spell. Hold on. No.
You might as well break out
Yeah,
some big tricks.
sure.
This thing's got roughing you
May
guys
as
up.
well. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna use Hunter's Mark.
All right.
Ooh,
I don't think
know
it
why
has
I
to
did
make a
that.
saving
Yeah.
throw for that, right? It just has the hunter's mark on it, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it rolled either, but
That's all right.
anyway, okay. And now I'm gonna
Well, because when you have hunter's mark and you hit it with an attack, it does an extra d6 of damage. So I think that's what it did. Is it rolled a 1 on that damage.
great. Fabulous.
All right. Unfortunately, though, a 13 doesn't hit. So you do have the hunter's mark on it, but your arrow, your hand crossbow bolt, just you hear it strike the roof past the Chimera up in the shadows. Yeah. All right. Great. It's going great.
So I haven't been using my uncanny dodge.
Okay. Well, you probably should be.
I probably should be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's the thing
So-
with new characters. I understand, you know.
Yep. So it came up
Yeah.
after me,
Mm-hmm.
and so I will attack it again with my rapier.
Gotcha.
Finally hit.
Okay,
22.
there you go. 22 for sure hits.
10.
Okay, just a second. I'm double checking something. Okay, yeah, it has dark vision too, which I figured it would. But yeah, I was just making sure it didn't. If there was a weird thing like it didn't have dark vision, but you did, then I was gonna maybe do something with that. But yeah, you stab it for 10. Doesn't like that. It roars
All right.
at you some more.
I am going to. So I can do. So that's not a bonus action. Okay. My cunning action is not a bonus action.
No, but if you get hit by an attack, you can.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a bonus action. Okay.
Which?
The cunning action, which means I can disengage.
Is disengage one of the cunning action ones? There's one of the I can never remember because there's one of those sort of basic actions that you can't do with it, and I never remember which one it is.
It's disengage, dash, and dodge.
Okay, great.
And
Yeah,
hide.
so there's one of them that's not, and so I think it might be dodge that doesn't.
Dodge is not one of them.
Right. Yeah. So, but disengage, yes. So yes, you can use your bonus action to disengage and move away from it.
All right. That is what I'm going to do.
All right.
I will drop back down, and I can go right underneath it.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell me where you're moving. Yep, there you go.
All right, and you can take the little.
Gotcha.
Tornado
You're now
easy.
back on the
Yay.
floor level.
Yep.
Okay, great. Rivka, you're up.
All right. So
It's in the rafters.
what I'm gonna
but,
do?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah. Mhm.
is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to bonus action rage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to hold my action to take a swing at it when it comes down.
Gotcha. Yeah. That makes sense. I was just going to say, I think the rafters are not necessarily that tall in here. And so since you're big, um, uh, no, actually it does say that the rafters are 20 feet up. So that's pretty high. So in any case, you're holding your action for that attack. I think that's a great idea. And so that makes it the Chimera's turn too. And it is going to rise to your bait and charge down at you, and you get to make your attack first. Uh, 24 will hit. All right, there you go. 17 slashing damage. Does that include your rage damage?
I think it automatically doesn't it automatically add it?
Well, I don't know. It depends on what you do, because it looks like it's a D12, which got a 12,
Plus
and then
5.
plus 5, so that's 17. It does not look like it added your rage damage.
Let me see.
I think you might have to mark off your rage or something. I don't know.
I did.
I don't know. So you might have
I
to
don't
click
either.
it. I don't know how to do it on your sheet. That's why I'm telling you, if it doesn't add your rage damage, you have to do that. So what's your rage damage?
I'm looking. Sorry.
That's okay. It's just it's a reminder of what happens when we do brand new character. You know, everyone's doing new classes. That's fine. It's okay. I'm sorry
Plus
if I'm
2 melee
acting
damage
judgmental
with
about it.
So it's just plus 2, so it would be
Okay,
19.
great. All right. Well,
And
that
then
is definitely the biggest hit anyone's landed on it so far. It does not enjoy that. It is ready to do something about it, though.
I get to hit twice.
A held action is only one, unfortunately.
That's not the bonus action.
Um,
Like, does that count? Like,
no. See, unfortunately, like if your main attack action is 2 attacks, but you're holding it, a held action only does 1.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think if you hadn't just done so much damage to it, I might be more inclined to like give you the extra. But that's how the rule works when you hold your action. However, it is definitely engaged with you now. You don't think you're going to have to worry about it going up to the rafters again. And so now it is going to try to return the favor with a bite of its own. First, the lion head got another crit. That's going to be 14 piercing damage. And I need a strength saving throw for you. Okay, so that's with that save, you meant it was trying to throw you across the room like it did to Poppy earlier, but you are able to pull yourself free from its jaws before it can do that. However, it does still try to bite you with its other 2 heads. 16 to hit. Jeez, it got 15 piercing damage on that one. How's that? Is that right?
I'm unconscious.
Okay. Wow. All right. So yes, it bites you with that, and as you go limp, it drops you on the floor, and then it's going to chase over after Vicador. And then it has one more bite with the, but it gets critical miss on that one.
Hooray!
Okay.
Not that you're down.
Yeah. So that is the Chimera's turn. Poppy, you're up.
So I have a question.
Yeah?
Is the cat still in the chair?
Yes.
It's not even phased. Not even a little bit.
Not only is it unfazed, it doesn't even still seem to think that the fight is more interesting than whatever it's mewling at the in the fire. It looks irritated, if anything, because people are doing something other than what it wants. What's your passive perception?
Wisdom, perception, 17. Is that right?
That seems
Passive.
hot.
No, passive wisdom. Passive. Let's see. Yeah,
Yeah, it should be just
perception.
like 10
It's
plus whatever.
17.
Yeah. So you actually, as you're standing right there, your eyes are a bit sharper than Vicador's perhaps in this instance, because you realize that there is a bone that looks like it's well loved and gnawed on that is laying half into the fire, and that seems to be what the cat is so preoccupied with. It wants that bone back, but it doesn't. It's too scary next to the fire, so it wants someone to get it for him.
So I was originally thinking that I would grab the cat and throw it, but I think I'm just gonna go for the bone.
Okay.
Give the cat the bone, just see what happens.
All right.
Because what I'm currently doing is not working.
Okay. So I will allow you to do that with a bonus action, because all you're doing is kind of just grabbing at it and then just putting it on the chair. I'll let you do that with a bonus action if you like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
And then,
So
I'm
as
resting back
you
here a
do
bit.
that, the cat stands up as you lean down to pick up the bone, and it's watching you intently. And as you put the bone over there by it, it picks up the bone and just lays back down and starts chewing on the bone. Right.
Okay.
Yep, that's what happens.
All right. Well, that was not as exciting as I was hoping, but I'm going to try to sneak over here without getting noticed, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna hit Rivka with some cure wounds
Great.
at second level.
Okay.
17. I actually rolled well.
Nice. Nice. Maybe your luck's turning around, gang. Vicador. It is your turn.
I can finally go for. Oh,
Well, you
so
have to hit it first, but still, yeah.
well, but within 5 feet of the monster is
Mm-hmm.
an ally of mine.
That's correct.
So I can go for the sneak attack.
Yes, if you hit, you definitely get sneak attack.
Woohoo! Let's hit. Let's
Yeah.
not.
Unfortunately, a 9.
I made a natural 3. I'm getting better every time.
Yeah, so natural 1, natural 2, natural 3. You're working on it. You're working it up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that's you know what? I'm actually going to rule that you're kind of flanking with Rivka, so I'll let you roll that one with advantage.
All right.
Because I'm kind and benevolent as a GM.
25.
That's better.
That's much better.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that hits. So roll an attack and you get your sneak attack.
All right,
Because it suddenly
so-
turns around annoyed that, like, hey, I had claimed that one already, and now you're trying to take it back.
so
17.
6. Oh, did it add the?
Yeah, it does it automatically in the roll
Okay.
20 here. So 6 piercing damage for the main attack and then 11 sneak attack. So 17
Alright.
total. Yeah, it is actually starting to look a little rough. Your wounds have definitely started to take their toll on this thing. It's definitely bleeding and looking a little more ragged. Okay. Anything else for your turn? You are
I
still
am
in its
gonna-
melee range here.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to use my uncanny, or not uncanny dodge.
Cunning action.
Cunning action to disengage and
Okay.
go hide in the shadows.
There you go. Okay, so that makes it your turn, Rivka. You are prone, but you are once again awake.
I will use half my movement to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
and I am gonna wallop on this thing.
Yeah. And I will allow that even though you went unconscious because it was less than a full round, I will say your rage is still up.
Oh, okay.
I think normally it drops if you go unconscious, but this was it was just you rolling down for a second. Yeah. A
14?
14, a 14 does not hit, unfortunately. You know,
Okay.
it is really close, but you realize that this whole thing with the three heads, like you end up kind of just clipping you break one of the goat's horns, but not enough to do it like meaningful damage. So it's cosmetic damage only.
Okay. I'm gonna do my second attack.
All right.
That's not any
Oh
better.
no, it's another 14. Yeah.
So
Uh,
then I'm gonna do my bonus action
Uh huh.
and do a frenzied attack.
Okay. A
15.
15 hits. A 15 hits.
all right.
Come on, dice, get out of the way. So
Okay.
that's 10.
All right. Another 10. Okay, great. So what does your frenzied attack mean? Like what does that do anything or
No, it's just if you're in a frenzied rage, you can make another melee attack as a
okay,
bonus action.
but there's a downside at the end of it or something, right?
Let me double check.
Because
No.
I want to say like
It just
there's
says while in a frenzy, you can make a single melee weapon attack as a bonus action on each of your turns after this
Okay.
one.
it's not like there's not a like a exhaustion when the rage drops or something.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. All right, so that I just feel like why wouldn't that be just an always thing? Like why do you have to go into the frenzied rage?
I don't know.
Uh,
Because the only other way you can make a melee attack as a bonus action is if you do Great Weapon Master and you get, because I have the Great Weapon Master feat.
okay.
If you get like a critical hit,
Mm-hmm.
then you can make another attack.
Okay.
So like if I used my rage as my bonus action, I wouldn't be able to make that third attack.
All right. Well, hold on. I'm okay. Well, you know what? I'm not going to look it up right now, but yeah, double check that because I feel like I'm used to that being
I'll look it up.
something else. But yeah, that's okay. So in any case, you did that 10 damage for sure. But now it is its turn. First, let's see. Does it get its? Does not get its dragon fire attack back.
Barf.
Yeah. So I think it's going to sort of trump up here, and it's going to make a couple of bite attacks. One against Rivka. This is the lion attack. 15 to hit. Does that hit Rivka? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading that.
That's okay. No, that's all right. 12 piercing damage. So thankfully you're not down again already. And then I do need you to make a strength save.
I think I get to make those at advantage because I'm raging.
Okay. That's correct. You do. So yes, you are certainly strong enough to keep it from throwing you across the room again. And
I was just gonna say you are correct. Like I looked it up on Beyond 20 or
Okay.
Roll20, and it says that when it ends, you suffer one level of exhaustion.
right, yeah. Okay. So fortunately, that won't happen right away. It's going to try its other bite attacks against. Actually, I need to re-roll the damage for that one because it was the wrong. I did the wrong damage type for that one. So instead of 12, it's only 7. So you get 5 back. But it's going to try to now bite with its goat and dragon heads on Poppy. It's a 20 with the dragon head for 9 piercing. And then the goat only gets a 9 to hit. So I think 9 probably doesn't hit.
No.
All right, good. So that is its turn. It roars, but the roar is actually sounding a little bit more frantic now. Like it's actually maybe, why isn't this working? So, Poppy, it is now your turn.
So if I move, opportunity attack because
Yeah.
it moved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hmm. Um. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go with the. I have to do cure wounds on myself.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm about to die.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So, go ahead and roll. There you go for 10. And anything else, or are you just staying right there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna stay here.
Okay.
I can't really do too much else. So.
Sure. Vicador, you're up.
All right. I am going to do something stupid and close with it
Yeah?
because
Yeah.
then I get to use my rapier, which gets a little bit better damage.
You
if
also
I
are
hit.
flanking when you're right up against it like that.
Oh.
And on the other side of Rivka. Ranged wouldn't
that
do that,
give
but
me
melee does. Yes, it makes you roll with advantage.
All right, which means I automatically get.
Yeah, you would get
Uh,
sneak attack anyway, but certainly you can also roll the attack with advantage, which is also good.
23.
23 will certainly hit, so go ahead and roll that attack with sneak attack damage. Roll the damage that is with sneak attack. Another 18, pretty good.
All right, and I will use my cunning action to disengage.
All
and
right.
Go hide.
Yeah, so I think as it was preoccupied with Rivka and Poppy, you managed to come up behind it and just like slice through some of the musculature on one of its hind legs, and it kind of just loses any ability to like stand on that leg. And it's still able to kind of move around on the 3, but it's definitely pretty hurt now at this point. Okay, Rivka.
All right, I am going to hammer on it some more.
Yeah,
See what happens.
seems like a good idea to me.
Hope for the best.
Yeah, I hope you roll well.
No.
A 12, though, no. Another 12. You guys are having a rough dice night.
All right. So then I'm going to do the frenzied attack again.
Mm-hmm. There you
That's a
go.
19.
19. Yeah. Take what you can get. That's where the multiple attacks come in handy. Okay.
7.
So should that be 9 with the rage?
Yep.
Gotcha. All right. It's looking pretty rough now.
I'd also like to scream in its face.
Okay. Ah! Make an
And hope that it's afraid of me.
make an intimidation check.
Oh, good. I'm proficient in those.
Mm-hmm.
20.
That's pretty good. So it's actually its turn now, and I think it disengages from you, and then it flies up into the rafters in the far corner here, trying to get away from you all. So that is what it does on its turn. Because it got a taste of its own medicine. You know, it was big with the roars. It thought that was like its thing, and then, oh wait, you can do it too? Well, now it just feels dumb. Like it thought it was so special, but now its leg hurts. You guys are so mean. So yeah, it flew up into the corner in the shadows there. So Poppy, it is now your turn.
I am going to hit it with the crossbow, or
Yeah?
I'm going to
Mhm.
try to. Ugh.
All right. Unfortunately, an 8 is not very good. You're losing all your bolts to the roof of this hut, where it's actually going to be hard to get them back, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
What is
over
even
here.
happening?
I'm going back over behind the cat.
Yeah. Actually, you're in, Alan, and you got an Aarakocra buddy, so you could probably fly up and get them. But yes, certainly you still don't hit it. The cat, incidentally, kind of does give you just a brief glance as you pass by again, and it's still mostly gnawing on the bone, but there's a brief look of like, yeah, I saw that. That makes it your turn, Vicador.
All right. I dropped my bow, so
Well, but you
I
could also fly up to it, right?
I could if I know where it is.
Yeah. What?
Is it like right up above here?
Did you
where it
not
was?
see me put it down here in the corner?
Oh, I did not see you put
All
it
right,
down
well-
there in the corner. And
Perhaps you should zoom out your map.
all right. All right. I will fly up to it
All right.
and engage. Because
Okay.
I'm stupid.
Well, trying to finish it off.
Yep.
Mhm.
Rapier again. 19.
A 19 does hit. It won't be sneak
Okay.
attack, but that's a solid, straightforward hit.
Okay. 11 points of damage.
That's pretty good. It is not quite finished yet, but it is obviously frightened at this point. It is, starting to look pretty wobbly. The heads are not nearly so alert. They're looking pretty glassy eyed.
All right.
Are you staying up there right next to it?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, that's why I asked.
I'm gonna
You
I'll
probably
just go back where I was.
Okay. I don't think you have enough movement to do all of that.
I have boots of striding.
Oh, you're
and
right.
springy.
You do. Never mind. You're right. Gotcha. Okay. Great. So that makes it your turn, Rivka.
I really can't do much
Mm-hmm.
because it's so far away.
Yeah.
Throw your axe.
So, what?
Throw your axe.
It's a two-handed weapon. You can't throw those, I don't think.
You can make the attack, but it would be with disadvantage because they're not designed for that.
Okay.
And it's
And it becomes a dex attack instead of a strength attack.
Right.
I mean, do what you want. I mean, you can also do the thing where you kind of hold your attack action if you want.
Yeah, I'm actually going to use my bonus action to intimidate it again. I'm going
Okay.
to try
Yeah.
and tell it to get over here
Okay.
and hold my action.
Okay. Another 20 on intimidation. It looks like it is not eager to get over there.
Jenny's just trying to have another pet.
So actually, is your intimidation check? Are you literally trying to command it to come to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And then are you doing anything else, or is just that your action?
I'm holding my action to put the smackdown on it when it gets over here.
All right. So it is its turn, and I think with another 20 intimidation of a command in that way, it looks cowed and it sort of flies down to the ground, and heads hanging low and looking up to you warily. It kind of creeps over and then lays on its belly in front of you.
I'm a barbarian. I'm going to have to do it, guys. I'm sorry.
Mm,
And I'm going to attack it
All right.
and hope it's higher than 14. And it's not.
Oh no, it's a 10.
Ah!
Okay, yeah, so it realizes at the last second, oh wait, no, this isn't right. And so it scoots away from your blow at the last second. But at the very least it didn't use its. Actually, you know what? I take it back. It's because it's down here now, and you tried to attack it instead of commanding it. It's going to attack you. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. It's going to try to bite you with the dragon head. Gets a 13 to hit.
Miss.
All right, he's going to try to bite you with the goat head. 26 to hit.
Yep.
For 11 piercing damage.
I'm down.
Whoops. And then I think it's gonna bite you with the lion head too, because you made it mad. So it's gonna make this attack with advantage, which is a 22. That would be a 6 piercing, which would be probably 1 failed death saving throw, and then it's gonna throw you across the room.
So that would be
Wall.
2 failed death saves.
No,
right?
just one. Just one.
Okay.
But then it roars again, and none of you are like mechanically frightened, but it seems to have decided that it's not going to run away anymore. All right, Poppy, you're up.
Alrighty. Do we try this again? I mean, they
Yeah.
can't all miss, right?
Right.
I do not have a good track record with bows in general.
let's build it up a lot. All right, 16. That will hit.
that hits. Okay.
That hits. For 3 piercing damage, which is not enough to finish
No.
it off.
Oh wait. Don't I have?
Oh, but you have your
mark on
hunter's
it?
mark, so you get to roll 1 more d6.
I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference, but
I think the hunter's mark's a d6, right?
yep.
For another 1, still not enough. It looks like it is in the process of losing consciousness, but it's still got enough of its own sort of internal rage and betrayal, and fear that is driving it still, so it's not down. However, that makes it Vicador's turn.
All right. I will go with the idiot move. Close with it
Mm-hmm.
and hit it with the rapier.
All right.
And I rolled a 7.
Natural 1.
To a natural 1.
Yeah. It whirls on you, and I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, that's not going to be good.
Mhm.
16.
I think as you are running up with your rapier, it spins around to avoid your attack and slams you with its goat head and basically just pounds you prone with the headbutt.
All right.
All right, so
I'm going to get back up and disengage.
yeah. Okay, Rivka, make a death saving throw. A 4. Okay.
Fail.
So 2 failures. Okay. It is now the Chimera's turn again. And I think it's chasing after you, Vicador. This is intense. Okay, it's going to try to bite you with the dragon head, and it gets a crit for 15 piercing damage.
I'm down.
Okay. It drops you onto the floor, and it's going to squeeze over here and try to bite Poppy with the goat head. 18 to hit
Yep.
for 14 piercing damage.
I'm down.
All right, so here's what's going to happen here. All 3 of you have
GGA.
lost consciousness, right? Well, hang on. Where's potentially... let's see. I think that what happens here is, so you've all lost consciousness, and gradually you all come awake, feeling very wounded, and without any of your gear. And you realize that you have been, you hear sort of a humming sound. First of all, you're all stabilized. And so you're not going to die. But you are now waking up with 1 hit point each. and you realize that you are in cages, and you are in a large kitchen area where there's two 15-foot tall stone ovens dominating the northeast and northwest corners of the room, radiating heat and shimmering waves. There are iron cages clustered in the southeast corner. You realize it's the three of you, and there's also a kobold in one of the other cages. There are tall shelves standing against the walls filled with jars and bottles. An oversized cauldron sits above a fire in the center of the room, bubbling and steaming. And as you sort of gradually come awake, an old woman stirs the large pot, her face wrinkled like a prune, and her thin hair pulled into a wispy bun atop her head. And she is humming to herself as she stirs the whatever she's got cooking up in that pot. What would you?
Nice knowing you.
So,
Is there anything in the cage, like a food dish, or like she's trying to fatten people up so they're better? When
I
she eats
mean,
them?
maybe that's true, but there's nothing else in the cage with you right at the moment. You don't have your weapons or armor.
Right.
Yeah.
I was looking for like a cat food
Mhm.
dish that she gave us some food in or something.
Yeah. As far as you can tell, she doesn't seem to have noticed that you are awake, but she is certainly, singing to herself over there. The kobold is watching you carefully.
Ooh, I'm gonna use Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
'Cause,
Let's see.
Are we all in separate cages or all in one cage?
I think that there are 3 total cages. The kobold is in one. I think what I think that Rivka is in one by herself, and that Poppy and Vicador are in another together.
Okay. I don't know. That might attract her attention.
Actually, I
so
take
we
it
don't
back
have.
because Poppy is small, right? We said that?
Yes.
So I think
yes.
Poppy and the kobold are actually together in one, and then Vicador is in one by themselves as well. Just because it makes more sense that 2 small ones would go in the same cage. So I think you can cast that spell.
Well, I think I
well-
have changed my mind because that might attract her attention.
Yeah, I think as you're starting to do that, the kobold just kind of. What I will say is that you can certainly, by just trying to lay low and play it like you're maybe still unconscious, you can get a short rest that way.
Okay.
Sounds good.
That sounds very good.
Mm-hmm. I think whispering very quietly to you, Poppy, this kobold is just asking, how did you get here?
Unfortunately, we don't know. There's a chimera, and then it didn't go well.
By the way, the Chimera had 2 hit points left. And it was going to be done fighting if you didn't try to hit it again. That's how it goes sometimes. Yes, the kobold just says, my name is Kira. I'm a deaconess from the local, kobold cooperative. I think that they've got my equipment stored around here somewhere. Do you have any ideas for how to get out of here?
I would like to look around and see if I spot anything that might be of use, like whether it's our stuff or something to pick the lock. I'm not proficient
Sure.
in that as far as
Yeah.
I know, but I could try anyway.
Yeah, yeah. So go ahead and let's see. I guess make a perception or investigation as you feel you would prefer. 26 is pretty good for that perception. So let's see. That's I think. Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to turn a page. Okay, so I'm sorry, trying to. Yeah, she's got as you're like glancing around. Sorry, I'm just looking on the map for where this stuff is. Because it's at yeah, okay, so like what it suggests is on there. So I think there's just a debris pile in kind of one of the far corners of the room here, where it looks like your stuff has just been tossed on a pile there.
But is there anything like anything at all within reach?
Sure, sure. So I think that you think, looking at these cages, it's theoretically possible that Rivka might be strong enough to force the door. So there's that. Obviously, the big pot there is full of something very hot. Like what? Excuse me, those big ovens, you think you would probably take fire damage just even standing next to them. You do see that Striganana, this old woman by the pot, does seem to have a ring of keys on her. She's wearing it kind of on her hip. There's not really anything else within reach of the cages, perhaps by design.
Yep. What's the spell do?
I'm gonna quietly and stealthily examine the lock.
Okay. You want to make an investigation check?
Do 24.
Okay. You are pretty sure that if you had your thieves' tools, that this is kind of a medium complexity lock.
Okay.
But you also don't have your thieves' tools and your lockpick broke. So yes. Now I understand you are in a difficult position, but that is by design. It is the punishment for falling to the camera.
I do not like being in a cage. And I'm just gonna try to bust the door open.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make a strength check. Now, bearing in mind, do you have a level of exhaustion, which would make you at disadvantage
Disadvantage.
on
Yep.
ability checks?
Yep.
Yeah. So unfortunately,
10.
yeah, you feel the metal groan a little bit. You feel like it's theoretically possible that you could do it, but you'd have to like get yourself positioned just right, and it's you're worried that you would have to make more noise. Like you were trying to do it quietly, and it didn't seem like it was going to work. So I think you feel like you could maybe try it again, but you're pretty sure you would make some noise if you did.
I don't like it.
I don't blame
And
you.
I'm also
Yeah.
not really smart enough to care if she hears me.
Sure.
Come over here, witch.
Yeah. It's a pretty tough cage. Like you know that you're theoretically strong enough to do it on your best day, but you're also not necessarily at your best right now.
I'm tired.
So if you want, you can make another attempt. There you go. Well, so
Nope.
yeah, unfortunately, no. And I think you grunt enough with the exertion that Strigonana does hear you and glances over to all of you and just says, "Oh, look, you're awake." And she kind of comes over to sort of stand here, looking at all of you, and just says, "So, it looks like you all tangled with my little pet Tearmonger and didn't find that you were quite able to finish him off. That's a shame for you. I am a little bit worried that he's going to learn the wrong lessons from this because, of course, he's very injured and I'm able to help him with that to some extent, but I just don't want him to start worrying that he shouldn't attack invaders to my home."
Well, you didn't answer the door.
"Oh, were you just coming for a friendly visit then?" No one.
I don't really have a good answer for
Yeah.
that because I don't know.
Well, so here's the thing. I don't think I would be likely to believe you, even if you tried to present that impression. I can read people fairly well, you see, but here's where I'm coming from. I've been around for a while, and I don't last in this profession by being antagonistic towards everyone I meet, even when they are antagonistic towards me. I like to make deals. And just because we are meeting under less than optimal circumstances doesn't mean that I am any more hesitant to offer some sort of an arrangement. So perhaps we could discuss this and come to terms which are perhaps superior to your current circumstances. But of course, I would need to have some assurance that you are going to hold up your end of the bargain. It is not only your lives I offer you. I have treasures and trinkets that I could offer you, provided you are able to satisfy what I need.
And what is it that you need?
Well, I have appetites that are sometimes frowned upon in what you might call polite society. However, every time, if any of you bring me a live humanoid, could be a kobold like that little one here, or halfling, or human, or elf, or whatever, bring me one alive, and I will give you a treasure from my hoard. Or, failing that, perhaps we could make a lesser bargain just for now. Food. Your weapons, perhaps?
I like nothing about this situation. Nothing. Nothing. I want to leave.
Are you saying that?
No.
And she kind of nods to the kobold and says, "This little one steadfastly refused my generous offer, and so she's bound for the pot. But it would not be gracious for me as a hostess to not offer all my visitors the same opportunity to free themselves.
Does it matter where we get these humanoids from?
Doesn't bother me. Good ones, bad ones, doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Young, old, just
Having a
alive.
thought.
I'm sorry, what was that, my dear?
Said I was having a thought.
Hmm.
I know these woods pretty well, and I'm not. I don't really want to be dinner.
Well, I can't say that I blame you, and that's why I thought that this might be an offer that I could tempt you with.
What's the aside from the obvious of having to bring you people? What is the catch?
Why do you assume there must be a catch? I am asking you for a fairly straightforward request that you bring me someone. Now, obviously, I have the three of you here, but my hope is that the three of you, as capable adventurers, might perhaps be able to go out and bring me enough that you would more than replace your own potential value to me. Enough so that, as I mentioned, not only your freedom, but gifts from my treasure hoard.
There's something here.
See, there's also the matter of an offered person is so much sweeter than a captured person.
Can I use my hunter sense? It says
Maybe.
I can choose one creature within
Uh-huh.
60 feet,
Yeah.
and I immediately learn whether the creature has any damage immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities,
Yeah.
and what they are if the creature's not hidden from divination magic.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can do that. I assume you're looking at her.
Yes.
Makes sense. Let me pull up that information for you. So, damage immunities and stuff. Say again what you get.
Damage immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities,
Okay.
and what they are.
Well, this is definitely a hag, a fake creature. She does not trigger for you a specific known kind of hag. She seems like she might be special in some way or transformed in some other way, but certainly a hag, a fake creature. She is resistant to thunder damage and bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non magical attacks. She is immune to cold and fire damage. And she also cannot be charmed or frightened.
Any vulnerabilities?
Alas, no.
Okay, but that does tell me something. Okay. So, how quickly would we need to make this delivery?
Well, obviously, the sooner the better, but I understand these things can be complicated. Obviously, you do not receive any treasures from my hoard until you have delivered. But in the meantime, if I set you free, I will be keeping tabs on you, so to speak, and I might check in with you if it's been a long time, but we don't have to put a specific number on it.
Okay. I will take the deal. I don't really want any treasure. I
Mm.
just want to get out of here.
Sure. So she, the kobold is looking at you warily, like they're a little worried. Not necessarily like scared of you, but like worried about what might happen as a result of what you're doing, right? And so her eyes get wide, and she kind of leans up, towards you and moves and reaches a hand that at first looks just like an old woman's hand, but as she passes it through the bars of the cage, it becomes this enormous, long fingered, clawed hand. And she says, "Shake on it."
Just to be clear, the deal is we go and bring someone back, and that's it. We're done, right?
Well, if you shake on it with me, then you go. If they want to go also, then they will also need to shake on it.
But that's
Yes, I will allow you to leave. You may have your gear. And in the instance that you bring me a live humanoid, then you may choose a treasure from my treasure hoard.
What if we don't want a treasure? We just want to go and get this over with and
Well,
live our lives.
then I think that it might be the sort of thing where you will just have to live the remainder of your life knowing that you are in a debt, so to speak.
No, I mean, like, if we gave you, like, what you asked for, but we don't want one of your treasures.
Well,
Like, do we have to take one of your treasures?
I
Like,
mean,
what if we don't want one?
my treasures are pretty good, but I suppose you could refuse them if you wanted. I'm not in the business of foisting unwanted treasures on people. I make deals
And
with
that would
people
settle
who
the debt.
need something from me, and I offer them what they need.
well, really all I need is to go. That's it. That's all I need.
Yes, well, if you shake on it, you will
We-
be
and-
allowed to go.
And if we bring you a live humanoid offered to you,
Hmm.
that is the completion of the deal, and we are done. We can walk away.
Well, you will be allowed to choose from one of the treasures.
I
And
don't want
then
a
the
treasure.
deal remains open in that if you bring me another, you can choose another treasure.
Okay, screw it. I'm
Well,
just
I
gonna
want
shake her
the
hand.
deal.
All
I'm done.
right.
I'm out.
It's
Bye.
like her hand feels like dry and papery, but then as she like curls her hand around you, you feel it like oozing some sort of goo on your hand. It's just super gross. But and as she withdraws, smiling, you just like your hand doesn't look any different, but it's just like you can still sort of just somehow feel her hand on your hand, even when she's withdrawn it. She looks to the others and says, "Do we have a deal?" And I think she is moving to get the keys and begins unlocking the cage. And she just looks at the kobold at this point too and just says, "What do you say? You have another chance. I've not withdrawn my offer to you." And the kobold is looking kind of panicked, looking to like the rest of you, like not sure what she should do. All right. She says, "Oh, okay, okay." And so uh, she shakes too. But then Strigonana is looking at Rivka and Vicador.
Did she come back with the keys yet?
I mean, she's got the keys. She has unlocked the cage that Poppy and Kira were in, and she is waiting to unlock your cages for if you shake hands with her.
I shake hands with her.
All right. She unlocks your cage.
I hold my hand out,
Mm-hmm.
and as she like reaches out to take it, I grab her wrist and like slam her into the cage.
All right. Make an athletics check for grappling.
No.
Well, she rolls to like to go, like to compete against you here. But it's let's see. Yeah, she gets a 13. So as you try that, she is able to jerk her hand free and just ah ah ah. That's not how Goliaths get out of their cage. Do any of the rest of you respond to that or anything? Everyone else's cage is unlocked at this point. But, you've not like been given your stuff or anything, so you're still, unarmed and unarmored.
Is there are there any other uh, there's nothing around within reach,
Well, I mean, not right here.
not right here.
I mean, think about it from her perspective. If you're going to keep
Right.
someone in a cage, do you leave a lot of stuff just lying within arm's reach? Not really.
Not really.
That's how you end up with people not in cages
Hey.
anymore.
I'm gonna look at my friends
Mhm.
and very seriously say, just go.
I think as Strigonana says, well, now this is interesting. Perhaps you two, and looking at Poppy and Vicador, saying, could leave here with a treasure right now. If you offer me your friend.
No, I don't think so.
no.
She shrugs. Well, your choice. So, is it your intention then, my tall blue friend? You don't want to shake hands with me?
Never.
Well, all right then. So the rest of you, she says, all your stuff is in the pile. Feel free to grab it. And she kind of wanders over towards the pot again and resumes stirring it. I think Kira's so. Here's another thing too. Just Kira's like looking at all of you like, okay, is there a real plan or are we just actually what's happening?
I had an idea. I didn't
Uh-huh.
say it was a good idea, but no, I'm just gonna get my stuff.
All right. Okay.
I was gonna do the same thing that Jenny did, but
Mm-hmm.
I chickened out.
Well,
Uh,
She
long as-
ate my people.
yeah. No, I
I'm not gonna feed
look,
her anyone else.
I'm not blaming you here. She's
Yeah.
definitely evil. So here's a question though, just in the meta. Obviously we're not at our usual stopping time yet. Although certainly I guess the question might be, is this the sort of thing where you might go off and try to get a long rest before coming back, or like what are you thinking here?
would
She's
need to
obviously
have-
got you in a tough spot.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I wasn't
I think
planning on anybody staying behind. Because I had a thought, but it's
Mhm.
not something that can be accomplished immediately.
Well, it's also the sort of thing where she's let the kobold go now, and so like you go for a long rest. I mean, you have no guarantee that Rivka will be fine in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself.
Mm. So definitely gonna get my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stand there a minute, like real. I'm torn because I don't want to leave her here.
She is making a big Strigonona is making a big show of being so absorbed by her cauldron and singing to herself that she couldn't possibly notice what anyone else is doing. It's just so interesting stirring my pot. Can't tell what's going on in the room at all.
Listen,
So if we had things that were attuned, did that break
No, no,
attunement
no.
at all? Or
No.
okay,
If they were attuned, they're still attuned.
all right. Because one of the things that I have is a ring of mind shielding.
All right.
So
So I'm gonna say like all of this stuff is just like we'll say it's this shelf right here. I don't think it's actually shown on the map there. And then Kira actually has. Let's see what I think she has like a shield and a spear or something. But she is dressing in her own stuff as well.
Hmm. Feel like I don't want to leave her here, but I can't stay. I gotta
Mhm.
go.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
and I'm so dumb. I'm not even gonna know she's like eating me for dinner. I won't feel it because I don't have any feelings. I don't have any thoughts. It's fine. Name your first baby owl after me.
Mhm. So, um, I guess part of what I want to ask is, it does feel like maybe kind of a fun, scary, semi cliffhanger thing. If we wanted to just kind of end it here in this strange, uncertain place, but if you have something you wanted to specifically try to do and then try to like come back and deal with it, then we can absolutely do that. But we are getting close to our usual finish time. So, what do you all think?
So, like, the idea that I had is
Mhm.
like, she's all about wanting to eat somebody, so maybe we give her something that doesn't really agree with her.
Tell me.
Oh, like the old Witcher trick where you poison the goat and feed it to the dragon.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. But like I said, the plan isn't entirely fleshed out. So, like, I don't know the method for which that is going to happen. Like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it has to be a curse. I don't know. But this is like the start of a major quest, I feel like.
Well, like here's the thing is that we could have this be a part 1, right? Um and continue it at some future time when we have another need for an off session sort of thing. Um if that's what you think, or if you guys feel like you want to come up with something quick and then run it, we can also do that. But I guess I want to know what's the plan, because I
I
think if the three of you, Vicador, Poppy, and Kira the Kobold, I think if you take your stuff and you leave the hut, as you walk down the steps of the porch, the whole hut stands up on enormous cat legs and starts walking off into the forest.
I'm sorry, Jenny.
Don't be sorry. You know me, I like to go crazy rogue and go against the grain.
Mhm.
It's fine.
I know, but I was really looking forward to perching on your shoulder and riding a giant through the forest. I thought that would be
Well,
fun.
Memories.
this is a tense situation that I think would be a fun cliffhanger to
I
perhaps
think
come
we
back
should
and
pick
resolve
this up
another time.
later.
Yeah.
Maybe Christiana and I will talk behind the scenes and come up with a way that I could sort of maintain my life long enough for you to try to
Mm.
save me. Who knows?
Well, I mean, right now the only reason you're not walking free is your refusal to shake hands with her. So, I mean, it's not like there's, no possibility. But it's also the sort of thing where certainly everyone leaving the hut can't know what might happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think this is maybe a fun cliffhanger for a potential future continuation.
All right.
Usually, our one shots are not this
Well,
unsatisfying.
perhaps in a future continuation, you might have another ally that you could uh, join forces with. What I will concede a little bit here is that this is an adventure that is probably assumes that you might have 4 people, but it's designed for like 4 level 4s. So I thought maybe 3 level 5s would be enough, but You also were just rolling really bad, and the
Dice
Chimera was
rolls,
rolling really
yeah.
well. So, like, that's part of what happened
Yeah.
there. There was also
Yep.
a couple of off ramps for that encounter, but you guys kept going, and it's fine. It's fun. It's that, but this is what happened as a result. It had 2 hit points left.
Tried.
Okay. Well, so here's the
Roll.
thing: is that it's one thing to have it be unsatisfying in a fun way, but if you're feeling like this is unsatisfying in a not fun way, then let's figure out how to fix that.
I don't really think that there's really like it's just kind of how the dice worked
Yeah.
out. Like it's not.
Well, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's also a story that we're in control of. So,
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Yeah. So I
Yep.
will go off in search of my poisoned person to feed her.
okay.
Yep.
Well, so the thing is, if you wanted, we could kind of just abstract some of that, like how long it takes. But if you feel like, so this is why I'm offering that we could either return to this another day, or we could kind of try to run in montage mode what happens next.
I don't like the way I'm rolling tonight, so
Okay. Well,
I'm
then
okay with just
perhaps what we
leaving it
will
for
have
right
to
now.
do is leave Rivka's fate in the balance. Everyone else feeling slightly ooky after shaking hands with a hag,
Mhm.
but all the more determined that this lady's got to go down.
Yep.
All right, so I think that's where we'll leave it then for tonight. Thank you everybody for listening and or watching, and we will return for more adventure next week on So Many Levels.
How many
So
levels?
many
And
levels.
levels.
Although next week we'll probably have everyone again, and so the pocket protectors will finally go to dinner there. Ah! Good night, everybody.